Welcome back to We're Open. I'm so grateful to be joined by today's guest, who is the Senior Community Manager at Free Realms. They also brought a box of merch. Let's take a look. Welcome to the We're Open podcast. You're actually our 10th interview, so it's a big milestone for us. Do you prefer we call you Pex or Jason?
Either. I mean, since it's Free Realms, you can call me Pex.
And what did you do in Free Realms?
I was the lead community manager for Free Realms. I was on the project from before it launched. I came up with the term ambassadors. We wanted something that seemed official, but wasn't overpowering. We handled all the social media for it. We would handle in-game events, the home shows, where we would highlight a single player's house for the week, and we would get everybody to go there, and we'd max out the server. We pushed really hard for just building blocks and panels. That was something that came from us seeing what was happening in the game from the original thing, and then us pushing, hey, we need just an empty lot.
The empty lots were a great addition. How did you get involved in SOE and Free Realms?
Before I worked in video games, I actually worked in the movie business. I used to build puppets and prosthetics and theme park rides, but I really wanted to get into video games. And so I started out as a writer, mostly doing military style first-person shooter games. And so I'd write the scripts and the manuals. A good friend of mine was working at Sony Online. He had done some other MMOs before that. And so I ended up at Sony working on Star Wars Galaxies as the in-game events manager, and then carried that over into Free Realms.
That's wonderful. What was involved in planning an event?
We had a lot of autonomy in what we did. Obviously, we would keep everybody informed. So we had a number of community managers that I oversaw. I actually was in charge of the international community team for all of our titles. We would plan things out. We'd work really closely with marketing and PR. And the dev team, what new content is coming, what promotions are happening. We would meet on a regular basis, just what is the health of the game, what are we interested in doing, what new things are coming, what we would bring issues to the dev team. And so there was a lot of communication. I don't know if you know, but a lot of video games, the developers and the publisher are separate companies. But at Sony Online, we were the developer as well. And so everybody working on the game was on the same campus. So I could just walk over.
Was it hard transitioning from talking to coworkers to players in game?
If you were under a certain age, you couldn't like chat. There was the pre-selected aspects of it. But no, I mean, I'd already been doing this for a long time. Being a community manager can be difficult because you're not always interacting with people who are happy with what's going on. And sometimes you have to be happy when you're not happy. But the feedback loop is what makes it all really rewarding, to be able to go into the game and see people having fun.
What was the process of collecting feedback from players?
We would actually do the posting. This would be the early days of Facebook. Before that, it was basically just the forums. There's always a lot of comments. And one of the things you have to do as a community manager is kind of determine what things are truly important to the community and the game, what might just be a flare-up. To see what people are saying in game, you have to see what people are saying on the forums, what they're saying on social media. And when you see topics popping up on all of them, you're like, oh, I really got to pay attention to this. And then we would go to the team and we would say, hey, this is the issue, or here's a feature that people want. And we would have to weigh that with how much it would cost, how much time, are there other things more important? Is this a critical issue? Is this a quality of life issue? Is this just a wish list? And so that's two aspects, is communicating from the game to the players, from the players to the game, and also helping players communicate with each other.
What was your favorite mini game, and did you ever lose on purpose?
That implies that I was good at racing or fighting or whatever. The car racing game I played a lot of. There was a pirate game, and you would go and you'd shoot and you'd have to pick up the treasure.
Yeah, Pirates Plunder at Seaside.
One of the things that we found interesting was that the most popular place in all of the game was the volleyball court on the beach. That was not intended at all. That's what's great about MMOs, is the community really determines what these games are going to be.
What do you think of Free Realm Sunrise?
MMOs are amazing, right? They bring all these people together for this collective idea, and you create these social bonds that a lot of times exist only in that game. When a game goes away, it's traumatic. You are losing all of these friends and online families that really have come to mean a lot to you. And so knowing that there's groups of people that want to revive these games that are no longer around is fantastic.
What are you up to now?
Currently, I work for a video game publisher called 505 Games. It's been great to see how games have evolved.
That must be so rewarding. Didn't you have something you wanted to show us?
I went in and I found some old boxes of stuff. I do have some swag from Free Realms. When we had some conventions, you could get your picture in front of a blue screen. So this would be from like E3 or something like that. Playing cards. This is like a small test version that I did.
Ah, that's awesome.
Pristine mouse pad. Oh, just some pictures I remember printing out from back in the day. Just a printout of a screenshot from snow days. If I had the ability to disconnect the camera and move the camera around, I would be able to get really good screenshots.
Those are awesome. Thanks for showing us all those.
I love the fact that people still remember the ambassadors and events that they did because we still remember the players.
Thanks so much for being with us today, Jason.
It is my pleasure, and thanks for taking the time to talk to me. It brought me down memory lane.
A big thank you to Jason for joining us today. Our next guest was a creative director on Free Realms. Subscribe because you'll want to watch this.